Serene and calm, that's the kind of life most people desire post-retirement. Now, billed as the ideal retreat for one's later years, senior citizen homes are fast gaining traction in India. And to help you choose your ideal retirement home, we have on board Mohit Nirula, CEO at Columbia Pacific Communities. Mohit, good evening and welcome to the 80 Money Show. We are talking about retirement homes. What kind of retirement homes do you think India is accepting these days?
Good evening, Kavita, and it's always a pleasure to be with you and on ET Money now. Retirement homes or communities designed for senior living have undergone a sea change over the last couple of generations. And the reason for that change really comes from the fact that the residents who are booking into these homes have changed. They have different expectations. If I were to be able to describe the classical resident, this is the Indian middle class. The Indian middle class who realized a couple of generations ago that the key to a better quality of life for their children was education. And then that had a happy coincidence of combining with globalization. And as a result of which, the children of today's middle class are actually citizens of the world. Now, what that has done is that it's taken children away from their parents in pursuit of their careers. But the parents who've stayed back and are on their own are not the ones who are pining away to be with their children or want their children to come back to them. They are, in fact, very happy to have given their children the wings to fly and now want to use all the resources that they have, the money that they've earned and put aside, the time that they now have, and the good health that they've kept themselves in to be able to enjoy life to the fullest. Now, if that's your target market, that defines what a senior living community today is going to be. And what it is today is not as used to be thought in the days of old as the no option place to go to. It is now the preferred option for this demographic, which wants to live life on their own terms and live life to the fullest. So therefore, the senior living communities of today are reflective of the seniors of today and the seniors of tomorrow.
It's very nice to see that that senior people of society are actually choosing to live the life this way. But then when we talk about retirement, often because it's a personal finance show that we do every day, we always ask our viewers and investors to have their first financial goal as their retirement goal. They need to, at whatever age, I mean, even if it's your first salary, the first investment should be for your retirement. Now, when we talk about retirement homes or we talk about senior home livings, are we talking about senior people who are self-dependent, or have they planned their retirement really well? Are they wealthy enough and competent enough to take care of themselves physically or financially? What are we looking at over here?
So I can only speak on behalf of the people that I serve and know intimately. Sure. Columbia Pacific Communities is already the country's largest creator and provider of services to senior living communities. We serve 9 communities in 5 cities across 3 states and union territories. The absolute privilege of serving 1,600 homes, 3,000 seniors. And our data tells us, and our residents tell us, I would say about 98% of them are not dependent on their children at all, and proudly not dependent. What we have to understand is that this is, I am definitely referring to the middle class and the middle class and upper middle class. And what they have done is that in planning their retirement, they have, in their life, they've built up to their biggest homes, 3 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms, and having now lived in them, used them to the fullest, seen looked after their parents, seen their children fly away to distant shores, now are looking to downsize the asset, but upsize the style of living. And when I say upsize the style of living, I'm not talking of exhibitionism or flagrant wastage of money. They are very prudent. But what they are talking about is to be able to live life comfortably. Now, if we were to, Kavita, just examine how the middle class lives, we are dependent on various people, whether it is the person who helps with the cleanliness of the home. Sometimes people have people coming to cook. As you get older, you don't want to be doing a lot of the cooking. If you have a little patch of garden, there's a gardener who comes. As your ability to drive around and go and visit friends goes away, you are either dependent on Uber or on a driver on call. So you are actually dependent on a lot of people. And all of these things cost money. Now, when you move into a senior living community, two things happen. Number one, all of this gets provided by one single service provider. So whilst you are still using different resources, the dependability goes up because it's the service provider's job to make sure all of these services are available to you seamlessly. The second thing that actually happens is that you get the benefit of economies of scale. So if you were to total up all that you spend living on your own in a villa or in a mixed family community and all the things that you spend on for day-to-day living, my guess is, and what my guess, the calculations tell us that what you would spend in a senior living community would benefit from the economies of scale that come into play.
About the wealth, it's not only financial, Mohit. We talk about financial wealth, social wealth, emotional wealth, psychological wealth, and physical wealth. When we talk about retirement homes, are these all aspects actually covered and taken care of?
Kavita, I can't tell you how insightful that question is. You see, a retirement community is not about the home. It's about the lifestyle that you should be able to enjoy when you are part of that community. So even when we went about naming our company, we retirement living, senior living, none of this is there. Our company is Columbia Pacific Communities because we create communities. Now, communities is about living actively, aging positively in a social environment. So any good senior living community and any professional senior living community service provider should fulfill three promises. The first one is what I would call a 100% zero headache lifestyle. A zero headache lifestyle means anything and everything that you had to do when you were living on your own, you leave it for the service provider to deliver to you. Security, maintenance, the choked drain, housekeeping inside the house. When you're traveling to see your children, your plants will still be watered. Everything that you worried about, you please leave with the service provider. So what I would call a zero headache lifestyle, where from food, whether you want to go down to the restaurant, whether you want to have it sent up to your home, everything gets taken care of by the service provider. Zero headache. The second bit is what I call 100% peace of mind. Now, all of us who live on our own, even young or old, are constantly concerned with the what if. What if I fall down? What if I need help? All of us are living in homes with the doors bolted. How does even help get to you? Now, a well designed senior living community will ensure that whether it is your regular medical needs or whether there is emergency, the paramedical team, which is 24/7 on property, is available. There is a relationship with the nearest hospital. And the beauty of this is, Kavita, it's not really required. There is data to prove that emergencies take place less in senior living communities than in the mixed living community down the road, because here help is always available. But should you require it, it's available 24/7. And that means not only do you sleep peacefully, your children, wherever they are also sleeping peacefully, knowing that their parents are in good hands. That's promise number two. Promise number three is what I call positive aging. Positive aging at Columbia Pacific Communities is built around a philosophy which delinks numbers from age. If Fauja Singh runs a marathon at his age, it's not because he's Superman. What you are doing at the age of 80 or 90 depends on what you are doing between the age of 60 and 80. And that's where positive aging comes in. We believe that you should be physically fitter, mentally more alert, intellectually more stimulated, emotionally more charged, spiritually more connected, and nutritionally more strong, which allows you to age positively and therefore be fitter for longer. If these three things are promised and delivered at a senior living community, I can really think of no reason why somebody would want to live on their own in a villa or in a mixed family development. But these three deliverables must come to the resident.
Mohit, but then tell us where exactly, what towns, what cities are we looking at when you talk about retirement homes? Where is the demand high? What are people buying? What is the format of a retirement home that they are preferring?
So, I mean, there was a CII study done in 2018, which said that the demand for homes in senior living communities in 2018 was 200,000 homes. At that point in time, there were less than 20,000 homes in development under various stages of development, a 10x gap. Keep that number in mind, a 10x gap between supply and demand. The second number I'd like you to kind of keep in mind is that India adds between 5 to 6 million seniors every year. 5 to 6 million seniors. All of us who build homes know it takes us 3 to 4 years to build a 250, 300,000 square foot community. So this gap is actually accelerating. The maximum demand that we see are in the west, south, and eastern part of India. Why that is the case? It primarily drives from a couple of factors. Where is the maximum brain drain taken place from? Where have people, more and more and more people, exited India for white collar jobs or moved to other parts of India for white collar jobs, thereby leaving their parents on their own in their home cities. So we are already present, like I said, in 5 cities. This is in Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, and Pondicherry. But in the next 2 years, which is in 22-23, which is the next 4 months left, and then 23-24, we should be present from the west, which is Ahmedabad, to the east, which is Kolkata and Bhubaneswar. And in between, we are in Chennai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Cochin, Kanchipuram and Pondicherry, and God willing, we will also go to Mumbai. So this is where we are currently present and will be present in the next couple of years. But the demand, like I said, was 10x 4 years back. Between the gap, the latency between the people aging and the communities coming online. And don't forget a 2-year blemish on our lives called COVID, which taught us how difficult it is for seniors to cope on their own when all other support mechanisms disappear. So the demand is everywhere. And all we can do is keep bringing the solution to the residents, have people like you highlighting the fact that this solution is now present, and God willing, be able to serve many, many of our seniors over the coming years.
So high demand is also a sign of people being aware of their retirement and in fact planning very well for it in advance. Thank you so much, Mohit, for being on this show and explaining all the nitty-gritties to our viewers.